Hey guys, I'm Afra Syab, your physics teacher. I hope you all are doing well. In today's lesson, we will learn about the reflection of the light. Here we will discuss about the reflection of the light by the plane mirror, refraction of the light, thin lenses, dispersion of the light. There are some formulas. Here are also the example questions. At the end of each section, there are questions for your practice. Let's start with the reflection of light. What is meant by the term reflection? First of all, if I suppose that here is a plane mirror, it's a plane mirror from which the light will be reflected. When we have to see the reflection of the light, there would be the incident light ray. I suppose that there is incident ray that strikes the plane mirror at this point. It's the incident ray. How this ray is reflected? First of all, here I have to draw the line that is perpendicular to this point on the plane mirror. It is called as normal line. Let's draw this here, the normal line. I write here normal. After that, the incident ray is reflected and it is reflected on the other side of the normal, like that. It's the reflected ray. So how we can define the reflection of the light by the plane mirror? I can simply say that here is the incident ray that strikes the plane mirror and it goes into the same medium. It rebounds back into the same medium. This is called the reflection of the light. You can see there is an angle that is made with the incident ray with the normal line. This angle is basically called as angle of incidence. Sometimes it is represented by theta I, sometimes it is represented by I. So you can use any one of these notation to represent the angle of incidence. Just remember that the angle of incidence is the angle that is made by the incident ray with the normal line. And here is also the angle of reflection. By the word angle of reflection, you can guess that it's the angle that is made by the reflected ray with the normal line. So the reflected ray is here. It makes an angle with the normal line, which is called angle of reflection. It's represented by theta r, means that angle of reflection, or simply it is represented by r. You can use any one of these notation. So here I can simply say here is the incident ray that makes an angle, incident angle with the normal line, and it is reflected in such a way that the angle of incidence should be equals to the angle of reflection. This is called as the reflection of light. You can see here, when the light ray from the air strikes on a plane mirror surface, it is reflected along the path. It basically reflected along the same medium. The normal to the surface of the plane mirror is any line that is perpendicular to the surface. How you can define the normal? If I suppose that it's the plane mirror, any line that is making an angle of 90 degree. This is basically called as normal. Normal or perpendicular or right angle. All of these are the same terms. So how you can define here the normal line? It's the line to the surface of the plane mirror that is perpendicular to it. How you can define the angle of incidence? By this figure you can see the angle of incidence is made by the incident ray with the normal line. The angle of incidence denoted by the I is the angle between the incident ray and the normal. So the angle between the incident ray and the normal line is basically called as angle of incidence. How you can define the angle of reflection? Angle of reflection you can see by this diagram. It's the angle between the normal line and the reflected ray. So I can simply say that the angle of reflection is denoted by the R. It is the angle between the reflected ray and the normal line. These are very important terms you need to understand regarding to the reflection of the light by the plane mirror. When the light is reflected by the plane mirror, which kind of image is formed? So remember that there are two kinds of the image. One is real image and the second one is virtual image. Both of these are different from each other. The image which is formed by the plane mirror is virtual image, as this image cannot be focused onto the screen. Because when the image is formed by the plane mirror, the rays seems to be originate from the point that is behind the mirror. So that's why you cannot focus it onto the screen. Such kind of image is basically called as virtual image. You can see here, with the help of the eye, the image can be seen. Since it cannot be focused onto the screen, it is referred as the virtual image. So how you can define the virtual image? The virtual image cannot be focused onto the screen. The reflected ray appears to originate from a point that is behind the mirror. The reflected ray appears to originate from the point that is behind the mirror. So it's all about the reflection of the light by the plane mirror. Investigating the reflection by the plane mirror. Here is basically the experiment that how you can investigate the reflection of the light by the plane mirror. So which apparatus you require? First of all, here should be the ray box, plane mirror, protractor, paper sheet, pencil and ruler. So all of these things are required while you are investigating the reflection by the plane mirror. So here you can see there is an experimental setup. Which steps you need to follow? First of all, you have to take the paper sheet and place the mirror over it. This mirror, as you can see, it's a plane mirror. It's given here. You need to place the plane mirror over the paper sheet and then use the pencil to draw the line along the reflective surface. Actually, you need to draw the boundary of that mirror. You draw it with the help of pencil. Then after drawing the line, you have to remove the mirror and draw the normal line. The normal line is basically drawn at the center of the plane mirror. Any line that is perpendicular to the center of the plane mirror is basically called as normal. You draw the normal line with the dotted points. Then you place the plane mirror back to its original position and you have to use the ray box which is placed at some angle to the plane mirror. Then you have to use the ray box to shine the narrow beam of the light into the mirror that strikes the mirror at some angle. This angle is basically measured with respect to the normal, because when we have to see the angle of incidence, it's the angle that incident ray makes with the normal line. So you have to measure the angle of the incident ray that is coming from the ray box with respect to the normal. After that, we need to put the two dots on the path of the incident ray. I suppose I put the first point here and the second point here that is closer to that mirror. After marking both of these points, you need to draw the tube finds again on the reflected ray. The reflected ray is basically shown by this line. You need to put the 2 marks on this ray as well. So I put the first point here and the second is again close to the plane mirror. After that you need to repeat this experiment again and again 2 to 3 times and also measure the angle of incidence and the reflection. For the measurement of the angle of incidence and reflection, you need to remove the ray box, plane mirror, and then you have to join these points. The 2 points that you put on the incident ray and the reflected ray, join these points. You get the path of the incident as well as the reflected ray. After that, you need to measure the angle of incidence that the incident ray makes with the normal line. This angle is basically measured with the help of protractor. And after that, you also need to find out the angle of reflection that the reflected ray makes with the normal line. You also measure this angle with the help of protractor. Repeat this experiment 3 to 5 times and note the values of the angle of incidence as well as the angle of reflection. You can see here the experimental procedure. We need to follow the following steps in order to investigate the reflection by the plane mirror. First of all, place a mirror on a large sheet of the paper. Use pencil to draw the line along the reflective surface. This is usually the black part of the mirror. Remove the mirror and draw the line at right angles, means that at an angle of 90 degrees to the line drawn in the previous step, which you draw at the place of plane mirror, roughly at its middle point. This is basically called as normal line. Place the mirror back in its original position. It can be held in the place with the help of modeling clay. Use a ray box to shine a narrow beam of the light into the mirror so that it hits at an angle to the normal. Draw the 2 marks on the paper to mark the path of this incident ray. Draw the 2 further marks to show the path of the reflected ray. Repeat the previous 3 steps many times using the different angles. Which 3 steps? Starting from the ray box. Means that you have to repeat this experiment for these 3 steps. Take the ray box and shine the light on the mirror. Then see the path of the incident ray and the reflected ray. Using a protractor to measure the angle of incidence and the reflection for the different rays and compare them. You basically need to measure the angle of incidence and angle of reflection and make a table for that. What will be the results of this experiment? You can see here in this figure. You can see in this figure that here is a ray box from which there is the incoming ray. It is basically called as incident ray. It strikes the plane mirror surface and you need to draw here the normal line. After that, this ray, after striking the plane mirror, it gets reflected. And here is the reflected ray on the other side of the incident ray. So the angle of incidence is basically the angle that the incident ray makes with the normal line. But the angle of reflection is the angle that the reflected ray makes with the normal line. This is the diagram for that experiment. So what is its result? You can see here in the table, the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection are recorded. When the angle of incidence is 20 degree, the angle of reflection is also 20 degree. When you increase the angle of incidence, means that angle of incidence becomes 30 degree angle of reflection also be 30 degree. When you further increase the angle of incidence, which is 40 degree now, angle of reflection also increase and it becomes 40 degree. When the angle of incidence is 50 degree, the angle of reflection is also 50 degree. So I can simply say that by increasing the angle of incidence, the angle of reflection also increase. Both of these angles should be equal. So I can simply say here, when the light ray is reflected by the plane mirror, it is reflected in such a way that the angle of incidence is equals to the angle of reflection. It is a very necessary condition for the reflection to happen by the plane mirror. You can see here, this experiment should produce the result like those shown in the table below. Angle of incidence is equals to the angle of reflection. Both of these angles are equal, although there can be the small amount of error while taking the measurements. There might be the small chances of the error while you are taking the measurement of the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection. But both of these are always equal. Here are some safety precautions that you need to be considered. First of all, the ray box light could cause burn if touched. In such case, keep your burns under cooled water for at least 5 minutes. Direct exposure to the light can harm your eyes. When you directly see the light, it can harm your eyes. While doing this experiment, stand behind the ray box to avoid looking directly at the light. Use the mirror with precaution. Means that you need to use the plane mirror very carefully. If the mirror gets damaged, you cannot get the correct result, because the results of this experiment can be affected by the damage of the mirror.